Hello friends, so today I will be covering functions of management and role of manager from the management chapter. Okay, it's a second topic, so let's begin. So the functions of management includes mainly from 5 functions. Okay, planning, then organizing, then staffing, directing, controlling. Okay, coordinating is also included in the function, but it's actually the essence of the management and not properly the function of the management. So its abbreviation is POSCD. Okay, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Okay, so one by one we will see each of the functions in detail. So let's first talk about planning. Okay, what is planning? So planning is the process of thinking and organizing the activities. Okay, it is a pre-planned activity. Okay, so it is a futuristic activity, if I should say futuristic, because you are planning something which is going to happen in the future. Okay, so it is a futuristic thing. Okay, we need to decide in advance. So it's the definition. Now there are certain steps in the planning. Okay, the questions are being asked from here in MCQ. So let's see. So the first is aware of the business opportunities. Okay, to plan something we need to be aware that okay, here is an opportunity, we need to plan to get there. Okay, so the awareness of business opportunity, then setting the objectives, what you want to achieve, you will be planning accordingly. Then considering planning premises. Okay, different plannings and policies. Then identifying alternative course of action. Okay, you need to identify the other options. Okay, while making a plan we have multiple choices. Okay, so we need to identify those choices. Then point 5 will be evaluating alternative courses of action. Okay, same thing, alternative courses. Then choosing the best alternative, point 6. Okay, so choosing the best alternative, what is the best plan, we need to choose that option. Okay, formulating of supporting plans, then we need to plan to achieve that alternative, and last is implementation of plan. So now let's talk about the types of planning. Okay, so there are majorly 3 broad categories. One is corporate versus functional, strategic versus tactical, and standard versus single use. So in standard plan you are going to make a plan which will go on for a long time. Okay, but in a single use plan we are going to plan when something very unusual happens, like a company made a plan to during the time of pandemic. Okay, so they cope up with that situation with a different plan. After the pandemic those plans are no more relevant, so they are not going to follow those plans. So this is strategy versus single use. Okay, then comes standing versus single use. Then comes the corporate planning and strategic planning and functional planning. In corporate planning it's a top management planning. Okay, so here we are going to determine the long term objectives of the organization. Okay, in a corporate planning we are going to make the long term objectives of the organization, but in functional planning we need to see a segment of the organization. Okay, and we are planning for that for the functioning of that segment of the organization. Okay, so this is functional planning. Now strategic and tactical plans. So in strategic plans we are going to make plans like diversification of business, new products to be launched. So it is strategically important for the growth and survival of the business. While it's mainly about how we are going to manage the resources to establish to achieve the objectives. Okay, these are strategic plans and it is performed by the higher management. Now comes the tactical plan. This is also known as operational plan, where we talk about the day-to-day basis actions of an organization. Okay, so these plans are made to carry out the day-to-day activities, and it includes like how to make the effective use of resources allocated through the strategic plan on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so first we made a strategic plan, we allocated resources to different departments. Now we are making tactical plans to use those to utilize those resources on a daily basis to achieve those plans. Okay, so this is strategic versus tactical. Okay, now comes the hierarchy of plans. So the plan is performed in different hierarchy. Okay, the lower 3 levels are usually action plan. Okay, so they are usually plan for the carrying out the actions of the company, and the other 4 plans are strategic plans. Okay, so they usually goes with the objectives of the company. So the action plan includes performance measure. Okay, performance measure, action plan, objectives, and the strategic plan includes strategic goals, values, what we believe in, vision, what we want to be, and mission, why we exist and what we want to do. So now we need to know the difference between policy and strategy. So okay, so according to Kunz and Donnell, the policy, what is policy? So policy are general statements or understandings which guide managers thinking in decision making. Okay, so these are going to guide manager in his thinking of decision making. Okay, while policy, what are policies? Policies are guidelines for actions. Okay, so strategy क्या है? स्ट्रैटेजी एक जनरल स्टेटमेंट है जिसके थ्रू मैनेजर्स अपना डिसीजन लेंगे, लेकिन पॉलिसी क्या है? पॉलिसी आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है या फिर जो उनका अचीवमेंट करने का गोल है उसके हिसाब से क्या एक्शन लेना चाहिए, इसको बोलते हैं पॉलिसी। स्ट्रैटेजी है एक जनरल स्टेटमेंट और अंडरस्टैंडिंग के थ्रू डिसीजन मेकिंग में काम आने वाला चीज़। ठीक है, ये हो गया। सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन स्ट्रैटेजी एंड पॉलिसी. So after planning, the second function is organizing. So organizing is a process of initiating the plan implementation. Okay, so planning is done. Now we need to initiate the planning, implement the plan. So we are initiating the plan through organizing. Okay, so under organizing, there comes various processes. Okay, so these include determining activities. Okay, so to execute a plan, which activities you need to perform. Okay, so we are going to determine this as step 1 of organizing. Then grouping into different departments. Then assigning duties according to the capabilities of different employees and different department. Then delegating the authority. Okay, authority is delegated to various people. And then coordinating activities. So okay, so these are the processes of organizing. Okay, determining activities, grouping activities. Okay, similar activities are grouped together. And then comes assigning duties, delegation of authority. Under delegation of authority, we have 3 forms. Okay, so 3 form of delegating the authority. The first is formal theory of authority. Okay, so in this theory a position is held by some person. Okay, so he will hold authority over the person below him. Okay, so it's a top to bottom sort of authority. Then comes competence authority. Like it mainly focuses on the individual. Okay, so individual derives his power from the special knowledge or skills he has. Okay, if there is someone in a company who is more knowledgeable or more skilled in a particular field, so he will automatically be given the authority to supervise others. Okay, his suggestions will usually be followed by the others. Okay, and the other is acceptance theory. We have read this earlier, that acceptance theory talks about why people are going to accept your order. Okay, we read this earlier by Chester. This was given by Chester Bernard. Okay, so these 3 types of delegation of authority. One more thing is while grouping activities and everything, this comes under the terminology departmentalization. Okay, so grouping activities means we are forming departments. Okay, so departments are formed on 3 bases. First is functional department like sales, IT, accounting, manufacturing, based on the functions. Then product departments. Okay, if there is one company and it makes various products, medicine product, then cars, then let's say salt, everything is made by a single company. So the departments will be made based on the products. Okay, and then the customer departments, like the department is made based on retails, wholesale, and government accounts. Okay, a single company is performing business in all 3 arenas, with retail, with as wholesaler, and with government. So these 3 departments are mixed. Okay, so here comes the organization. Now we are going to talk about the various types of organization. So broadly, organization are of 2 types. One is formal organization, where everything is structured and jobs are well defined, have definite authority and responsibility. Okay, and then comes the informal organization, where there is a network of personal and social relations existing in a form outside the formal organization. Okay, so like someone is from one department is knowing some person from other department. Okay, so this is informal organization. Now the forms of organization. When we talk about the forms of organization, there comes first the line organization. Okay, so it is a very hierarchical top to bottom level, where the senior, like board of director, instructs, give orders to the general manager, and then they are going to give order to the various managers like marketing manager, production manager, finance manager. Okay, so this is line organization. Then comes line and staff organization, where the executive, like the hierarchical board of directors, give orders to the specialists. Okay, so like financial, they are giving order to financial advisors, human resource manager, legal advisor, someone specialist from particular field. Okay, so this is line and staff order. Then comes the functional organization, where they put specialists in the midway. Okay, the top management puts specialists in the midway, and then they are going to they are going to manage the departments under them. Okay, for instance, a president gives order to the research and development manager, then finance manager, then marketing manager. Okay, and then they are going to give orders to their particular departments. Like in research and development, they are going to give orders to their design department, development department, testing department. But in finance, a finance manager would give orders to different departments. Okay, so he will going to give order to accounting, purchasing, and finance department. So like that, specialists are made in a midway, and then they are going to supervise various departments. Okay, so this was form was given by F.W. Taylor, about whom we had read earlier. Okay, so this is he gave the scientific theory. Okay, remember foremanship, functional foremanship. So this is that one, functional organization. Then comes the divisional organization, where a company produces multiple products. So there is a division for each product, and each product manager looks after his various departments under his decision. Okay, so this usually uses delegated authority, which we read earlier. So this uses delegated authority form of organization. Okay, then comes metric organization. Okay, this is a combination of two or more forms of organizational structure. Okay, this is quite complex. Okay, so here line authority is exercised by the functional manager, and project authority is exercised by the project manager. Okay, so multiple managers are working together. Okay, then comes free form organization, where in a virtual organization, like we are in a virtual organization, usually in IT department, or so there is a free form of organization. Okay, we have independent suppliers, independent customers, independent competitors. Then boundaryless organization. Okay, in this there is no particular vertical or horizontal boundaries between the organizations, customers and suppliers. Okay, usually seen in the technological department. So here comes we finish organization. Now let's just move to the staffing. Okay, so for staffing I will be making a separate video. Okay, here I will just discuss the topics, and then I will make a separate video to explain those things, because questions are being asked from staffing. So staffing basically means to recruit your human resource. Okay, so staffing means recruiting the human resource. Okay, so here comes various steps. Okay, remember this step in a particular order, because the questions been asked on the order. So the first is manpower planning. Okay, we need to plan how much people is required for a particular organization in the particular department. We need to plan the manpower. Then comes recruitment. Okay, in recruitment we are going to bring out the advertisement that we want some person for this post. Okay, and the recruitment would be such that it should attract a large number of candidates. Okay, so that we can pick the best among them. If there is less candidate, we will not be having much choice to make. Okay, so there should be a lot of candidates. So this is recruitment. Then comes selection. Okay, after recruitment, the staff, the candidates are going through the selection process. Okay, the selection process consists of multiple stages, like preliminary stage, then receiving applicants, then screening of applications are done, then employment test is done, employment interview is done, references are being checked, physical examination is done, and then happens the final selection. Okay, then comes placement. So for placement, the staff is being placed according to his skills and his academic qualities. He is being placed to a particular department or a particular position. Then comes orientation. Okay, in orientation or induction, the new employee is being introduced to the processes and happening in the organization. Okay, so this is induction. Then comes training and development. The employee is being trained, okay, to increase his knowledge and skills. He is being educated about the development of individual from social, mental and physical perspective, and he is being associated with a particular job, but there needs to be an overall development of the individual, okay, to realize his future potentials. So this is training and development. Then comes performance appraisal. Okay, after the training is done, after the training is done, the performance of the candidate is being assessed and appraisal is made. Based on the appraisal and his performance, the staff is being transferred and promoted. Okay, so there goes staffing. Then comes directing. So directing is called the life spark of an enterprise or the heart of the management. Okay, so directing composes of 4 major elements. Okay, the first, there should be effective communication, then supervision, then the staff should be motivated, and there should be a good leadership for proper directing. Okay, under directing comes various principles. The principles of directing: maximum individual contribution, then harmony of objectives, unity of command, appropriate direction. Okay, then managerial communication. There should be managerial communication. Use of informal organization. The manager should use informal organization to communicate to the staff. Okay, then there should be a good leadership, and then so this is the principle of management, principles of directing. Okay, and then comes control. So controlling is the last step of function of management. So here controlling means evaluating actual performance and if necessary taking corrective actions. Okay, and what are the features of controlling? So controlling is both backward and forward looking. Okay, to evaluate a performance we need to look to the past actions. Okay, so it is backward looking and forward looking because we are taking corrective actions to make betterment. Okay, so this is both for backward and forward. Then it is relevant at all levels. Okay, controlling should be done at all levels. Third point is it is action oriented. Okay, control is it is based on the performance you made, the actions you took, and the actions you are going to take. Okay, so this is action oriented. The last point is it is a continuous process. Once a thing is controlled, then again a problem arises, and again we are going to assess it and control it. Okay, so these are the features of controlling it. Then the process of control. So process of control includes 5 steps. First is setting performance standard, then measurement of actual performance. Okay, we had the target to do something. Okay, then we are going to measure the actual performance. Then we are going to compare actual performance with the standard we had already set. Then if there is any deviation, we are going to analyze the deviation, and if the performance is below the standard, then we are going to take corrective actions. Now there are 2 types of controlling. One is cybernetic, which means it is self-regulating, and the other is non-cybernetic, where it relies on human observation. Okay, so human being need to give direction, and his discretion is supreme. Okay, so here we completed the functions of management. Now we will be talking about the role of manager. Now our last topic is role of manager. Okay, so role of manager must manage ideas. Okay, so he should be able to manage objectives, plans and policies of the organization. Then he should manage things. Okay, the capital, the other resources, the human beings being included, everything. Then he should manage people. Okay, human resources. So a manager should manage ideas, things and people, and then we are going to write the 5 functions which we read earlier. Okay, as the role of manager. Apart from this, Henry Mijberg gave 10 rules of 10 rules, okay, about the role of manager. So the role of manager is divided into 3 broad categories: interpersonal, information and decisional. So under interpersonal, the manager is a figurehead. Okay, so he is the figurehead, the symbolic head of the organization. Then he is the leader, and third, he is in charge of liaison, means talking or making agreements with the outside parties or third parties. Okay, and then comes the information, his role as an information dissipator. So informational, he is the monitor, he is the disseminator. He will be talking about disseminating information among the various staffs and departments, and he is the spokesman. Okay, so he will be talking about the policies and objectives of the company to the outside world. Then decisional, he is the entrepreneur, of course. He is disturbance handler, resource allocator and negotiator. So these 10 are the roles of manager given by Henry Mijberg. So here we completed the roles of manager. Now 2 more topics are there, and PYQs are being asked from these topics. Okay, so the first is management by objective. So management by objective is a part of directing where given by Peter Drucker, where employee and superior should have a common goal. The employees should set their goal, and that has to be achieved, and the goal should be the criteria of measurement of performance. Okay, so this is management by objective. Its advantage is it motivates employee, self-generated change can be brought through this, and disadvantages, it focuses only on the work achievement and emphasizes on the present performance. Okay, so this is management by objective. Now management by acceptance. So it is a philosophy where managers intervene only when the employees fail to meet their performance standards. Okay, the idea behind it is that the management should focus only when there needs to be an action performed by the management. Okay, they are not going to intervene unnecessarily. So with this we have completed all the topic of chapter 2. Now we will move to chapter 3 the next day. So thanks for watching and happy learning. Bye bye.